Hey guys. Hello. 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 Hey, okay. Can we pull this microwave over so we can share that? Man. Sure. Hold on. Yeah, I'm getting myself together. Hold on. Ugh. So you guys can see Miss Dottie. All right, here we go. We're doing the 2-for-1 sale. The 2-for-1 show. Hello. Hey people.
Why am I so black in your screen?
I don't know. Well, we got because we ain't got enough lighting. I try to get. I try to give us some lighting. Hey, yours is the thing for yours is lighter.
I got it. I think I was playing with the filters, but I don't know. Take it off.
Hey, good people. Welcome. Welcome. Come on, y'all. Get the numbers in here. We were trying to get the lights. Get the lights up. Oh, it's too loud.
Yes, you can.
Oh,
Why?
tell them to get the lights up over there.
Lights.
You don't get likes?
I think we get hearts.
Hey, guys. Hey,
Hold
over
on,
there.
I can't see Sylvia.
Hey, over there. Hey, hi. Hmm? People don't know. Okay.
Hey, everybody on Sylvia's.
I just want to tell everybody, I got the transcript. I got the transcript for the 3 days. Now, here's what we're gonna do. Because we got the 3 more days. I'm telling you, the last 3 days that we just had, you don't want to miss that transcript. That's the transcript with that girl. Y'all, we got to get that transcript. So here's the special I'm having.
What girl?
AZ.
Oh.
Y'all.
Jane Doe number 5.
Number 5. Jane Doe number 5. But let me tell y'all, here's the special we're having. Those who have donated, the ones who have donated, $50 get 1 transcript. And if you donate $75, you're going to get all 3 transcripts. 3 transcripts. This is for enough of us to get the next set of transcript. Okay. So $50, you get 1. You get one of your choice. $75, you get all 3. $75 for all.
Wait, you 3. Say that again. I want to answer a message. Somebody was trying to get in. Sorry.
All 3 transcripts. Okay. I have the transcripts for the actual trial, right? So that's the actual trial. So the special I am having is if you want
the transcript for a particular day.
Yeah, for a particular day. Okay, Friday. No, it started Wednesday, right? Trial started Wednesday. Wednesday you had Geronda. You have Geronda second day, Friday again. It started Thursday, didn't it? But it started
on Wednesday.
Wednesday. Okay, you had who was the first?
This irritates me.
Put it on the what's the name?
It's not, the Wi-Fi is not working.
Did you put it on the Wi-Fi thing? I told you how to do it. Hold on, yeah. She trying to get her thing on. Come on, yeah. Those who wants to get, because we want to get those who want to get the transcript, because we're trying to get the transcript. We definitely need the transcript for Monday, today, and tomorrow, because that's the when Jane Doe, and it's got some stuff on it. Some stuff. You gonna fix it? So you're gonna get. I gotta sneeze. So, because we want to try to get the new transcript, okay? Oh, definitely, Dom. Yes, I got the transcript. I surely did. I got all 3 transcripts. Woo, shout out to those who made the donation and who made it happen, y'all. I paid it and y'all paid me back. Thank you for those who gave the money yesterday. I appreciate you guys. And some people gave the money today. So those who gave $50 get 1 transcript, a transcript of your choice, whichever one you want. And those who give $75 get all 3 transcripts. And the reason why I'm doing that, because we want to get the next set of transcript. We need this next set. We have to get it. We have to get it because that's the one where AZ, aka Jane Doe, is on there. So we need that, okay? So when I get back home, when I get back home, I can't send it out to you guys right now, and I can't read it because it's on my phone. I didn't bring my laptop to, because then you have to. I'm gonna put my watermark on it and all that. But we're gonna read it, and one is 233 pages, the other one's 235, and the other one is 233. A lot of pages, y'all. So she's gonna be my co-host, right?
Yeah.
When we do the transcript. And of course, I need some other readers. We need somebody to be the Geronda, somebody to be the doctor, somebody to be.
Oh, she said it's that 75 open to
anyone. Yes, Rand. Anyone. Yeah, Dom. It's all over. But look, it's gonna be an easy read. We're gonna be like taking parts. It's gonna be fun. And we're gonna start it when I get back. I get back home Thursday, but Friday we'll start, okay? But guys, get that money going because somebody call. Why y'all calling me? Stop calling me. I'm on live. That's my sister. My sister she need to go on my live. Okay, you text me. Okay, so that you like my host?
A few more minutes to get in.
Okay, we're waiting for more people to come in. My host is the bomb. She takes a lot of notes. Look at her notes, y'all. Look at her notes.
Please show that so they don't be trying to say.
Look at her notes, y'all. Look. Today, y'all, was off the chain. And y'all, Robert Sylvester Kelly is coming home. For real, y'all. He's coming home. Ain't no jury on this earth going to convict that man. None. Wait till she reads these things.
No, I was going to tell you, want you to do a little recap of yesterday.
Oh, rest today. We're going to do recap from yesterday. You do it. Because you got the better note.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to do this little recap. The reason I'm doing the recap is because if you didn't hear yesterday, you're not going to understand why we saying Rob is coming home and where Azriel really fucked up today.
Ooh, Charlie. That's why I call her liar.
I said I wasn't going to curse today.
She's going to try not to cuss, y'all. She's going to try not to cuss.
How do I get back to the things on here?
If you read, do not believe the news, y'all. Don't believe what you read on the news. Don't believe it. We're telling you.
This is too much to do a recap. We're just going to start.
Just tell her that she lied.
Yesterday, Azriel testified. She testified to some of the abuse. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Kevin. Hey, y'all. Do y'all know, if this keeps freezing, just go over to Sylvia's YouTube page, Infamous Sylvia. I'm going to put it in the chat, as I can't fix this.
I think you're going to fix it by
now. No, it won't let me connect to the Wi-Fi.
Click the likes, y'all. Y'all know what you got to do on my channel, y'all. Stop playing. Stop playing with me. What's my sister called? Why does woman keep calling me, y'all? All right. Francis, please send me your please. Oh, guys, also, guys, when y'all those who are sending the large amount, please put your email in the put your email in the description, please, so when I can send it out to you. Okay, put your email in the description and I can send it out to you. Okay.
Y'all ready? Okay, so yesterday, Azriel testified after Demetrius was finished. She testified to how it basically started when she met Rob. She met him in April 8th, 2015. She said she was at a festival. Her parents took her to a festival. She said somebody in his entourage gave her a wristband. The wristband allowed her access to the pits, and it also allowed her access into the meet and greet. She said she didn't go to the meet and greet because she didn't like what she had on. She said during the second half of Rob's performance, Someone from his entourage had actually gave her a piece of paper. When she opened the paper, she said it was his name and his number. Um, After that, they left, went home. She said she gave the number to her mother. When she gave the number to her mother, she called the number. She from her Android, she realized it was the wrong number, so she went to go get the iPad she had gifted her mother. And she realized at that time her mom was actually pretending to be her and had been speaking to Rob for yesterday they said a few weeks. Today, Azriel testified to it was just a few days. Um, then she began to talk to Rob, and once she began to talk to him, she testified that while she was at school, he contacted her and told her that she can audition for him and to meet him at the Dolphin Hotel out of Orlando. She says yesterday she said that she actually left school, went to her partition. Is a partition? Partition is a basic. She keeps telling you have to audition for. Patriot. She keeps saying it's something you have to audition for. So, it's a music thing that she's into at school or whatever. So she said when she finished that, she went to her friend's house. She got dressed. She wore her crop top, tight jeans, and some kitty heels. She drove herself to the hotel. She said her parents did know, but however, no one attended with her. She said when she got there, Rob directed her to go onto the black Sprinter parked in front of the hotel. She went on the Sprinter. When she got there, he asked her to sit on his lap. She said, "Are you sure?" He said, "Yes." She asked for a kiss. She said, "Are you sure?" They kissed. They were in there for about 5 to 7 minutes before someone knocked on the door and said, "Okay, it's time to go. Y'all good." So she took that as meaning that their hotel room was ready. Once that happened, she went upstairs to his room. He told her before she can audition, he wanted to come. She said that she was not there to sexually satisfy him, but he told her she wouldn't have to do anything except for get undressed and walk around. She said she did that, but he proceeded to tell her that he wanted to give her oral sex. When she described what the oral sex was, she said she bent over backwards and he basically licked her butt. In the midst of doing that, she said he had a backpack. And in the backpack, he carried several iPads. One of the iPads he took out, she testified yesterday that he placed the iPad in front of her, so she's seen everything that was being recorded on the iPad. So she knew she was being recorded when he was doing it. In the midst of that, there was a knock on the door. Rob jumped up, looked out the peephole, noticed it was the police, asked her, "Are you sure you're 18? She said yes. He asked her again, "You sure you're 18? Yes. Go in the bathroom and get dressed." She went in the bathroom to get dressed. Rob spoke with the officers. She came out. The officers asked her, "Are you 18? She said yes. They asked for identification. She showed it to them. They asked her to call her parents. She called her parents, put them on speakerphone. I guess she just let them know that she was okay. She hung up the phone. The officers proceeded to tell Rob, "Whenever you're in town, here's our car. Give us a call. We'll provide private security." Once they left, she says that they picked up where they left off at, and then she auditioned for Rob. So that testimony right there, I should just go into what happened today, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
So today, so that testimony today, she basically was re-examined by, what's his name?
Devereaux.
Kenneth. She was redirected by Kenneth. Let me get to that part. So
Exam.
She was cross-examined, redirected, cross-examined. Anyway, I'm gonna go to that part. I'm gonna be doing a little bit of back and forth because, like I said yesterday, they was doing a lot of back and forth as well. So, go ahead and talk to me for a minute.
Okay, I'm gonna talk to you guys now while she finds her paperwork. All right. So, those who are going to give for the transcript, those who want to donate, we're gonna do it live on Friday and Saturday and Sunday to get all of them out. But we got the new ones that's gonna come out. We need money for that one. So what I'm gonna do, you guys who donate whatever you want to donate. But if you want to get copies of the transcript, here's what we're gonna do. For one transcript, you get whatever transcript of your choice, you get, hey, you do it for $50. And if you want three transcripts, it's gonna be $75 for all three transcripts. For the $50, you pick which transcript you want or which day you want. Okay. So we're trying to hurry up, gather up the money for yesterday, today, and tomorrow's interview. And the reason why I chose that one, those are Jane Doe number 5.
I said her name.
My bad.
Oh, yesterday.
Hey, Azriel. So, because that interview, boom, knock it out the box because Robert is coming home, guys. Robert Sylvester Kelly is coming home.
I'm just going. Okay, because it's all.
Dom, Rita got to pay money too. I'm talking about I'm a reader. I ain't saying you gonna be a reader. Everybody got to pay something.
Okay. So I'm just gonna start where they started to testify today. Prosecution started with Azriel where they finished where they picked up off where they left off at yesterday. She started off testifying about the assistants that she said helped with all the female guests. They asked her to describe exactly what their job assignments was. And she said it was to get food, toiletries, or anything else that they couldn't reach Rob for to get. So if it was an emergency, they were supposed to contact these assistants, and then the assistants will contact Rob for them. The assistance was also all paid by Rob. So they went back to yesterday. I missed that part. She stated yesterday that he had her eat feces on video. So if you guys remember, I don't know how many of y'all seen Precedence, but she talked about that in Precedence. Now, what I remember from that is she ate the feces. It was on video. Rob didn't like her. He didn't like her performance. He said she said she wasn't into it. So he told her to do it again. She said that she couldn't do it right away. So one of the assistants proceeded to go to a store and buy some candy. She ate the candy and she was able to do it again. She ate it again on video for him. She admitted to twice on Precedence. On the stand, she testified that it was only one time. He wanted her to do it again, but she said she didn't, and they just basically forgot about it.
He wasn't there.
He was not there. He was in the studio when it happened. She did it on video by herself, and then she took it to him to show it to him, and he didn't like it. He came back into her room and told her that wasn't convincing enough. So she lied about that. She said it didn't happen. They went in to talk about the book bag again. So she said he carried that book bag everywhere he went. He basically carried all the iPads in that book bag, and it was normally just used for wherever they decided to have sex at, which was normally the studio, the hotels, and the tour bus.
But yesterday, she also said that the iPad was used to take videos of her sexual encounters with, his sexual encounter with all the girlfriends and stuff like that. But here's more.
She stated he would show her the videos like she did yesterday, and he would just tell her, he would compliment her and tell her, look how small you used to be. Look how tight your body was, or something to that extent. And then they talked about her having to make videos where she shamed herself. And basically when they were shaming themselves, they had to get on, she said they would make videos of them walking around for the camera, crawling, and then saying things probably just to degrade themselves on camera. She said that Rob would show her videos of other women that did the same thing, and one of those women in particular was Hailey Calhoun. Was one of the girls she watched in the video, and she said she was crying while that video was being taped. She said that there was restrictions that was put on them. They couldn't talk to each other at all. She said that he did not like for them to discuss their personal relationships. I probably touched on that yesterday too. But he don't want them to discuss their personal relationships with each other. That was one thing she talked about. Her, Joy, and Dominique had actually got in trouble for. They had been together and they had been discussing their personal relationships, and they pretty much was comparing them. They was trying to make each other feel like they were better than the other. So she said that they got in trouble for that. Um, how Rob found out about that, she claims Rob was at the pool with Juice. He was at the pool with Juice, and he was telling Juice how happy he was to have Azriel. And he was so in love with her. And she said guilt, he kind of got to her, and she basically said she came out and told. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me back up. So when they did, it was a word that she called it when they basically told each other's personal business. She hold on 1 second. I wrote it down because I have to say that because you remember the word. Was it puke?
Yeah.
Puke.
Because he asked, what does that mean? Yeah, it was puke. No, it wasn't puke. We tried to figure out what was the word.
It was a word.
Fonts? No, font, no. It's a weird word, but it meant something. Was it puke?
It was puke or something. I don't know. Well, basically, they wasn't supposed to do that. She said she felt bad about it, and she came and she basically told him what she had done. And once she told him what, yeah,
I'm trying to remember what the word was. It's killing me not to remember the word. Okay, yeah. We'll just use puke.
And so she said, he sent her to her room. Once he sent her to her room, I guess no, he sent her to her room. Once she went up to her room, her punishment then was for her to gather her stuff and then go back to the bus. That punishment was she wasn't allowed to be around him.
For 3 days she was on the bus.
Again, the magic number, 3 days.
3.
So she went to the bus, she packed her things up, went to the bus. I guess Joy and Dominique was already on the bus when she got there. Rob came to the bus, and that's when he began to chastise them. Now, if you seen my live yesterday, I told you she told the prosecution. She testified yesterday. Chastising equal spankings. You get chastised, that means you're getting a spanking. It's not that you're just getting scolded or anything like that. She clearly said it equals spankings. She said they each got 15 hits apiece on their legs and on their butt with his bare hands. Once he finished, he told Juice and Dominique to go to the front of the bus, but he continued to hit Azriel. She said she was hit because he told her, "You're my favorite. I expected more from you." They asked where was she hit. She said all over her body, face, hands, back, butt, legs, wherever. He just beat her on that bus.
Okay, Dottie, he said stop because we need to get the lights up over there.
Where?
Get the light. Hey, y'all, get the hearts up over there.
That'll give me a minute.
Yeah, give her a minute. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all what y'all need to do. Those who are making donation, please make a donation to Cash App. This is for the transcript now. This is not for Sylvia. This is for transcript. If you guys want us to read all the transcript, because I really want to read the 3 for yesterday, today, and tomorrow, because then you'll know why we say Rob is coming home for real. Because it was during Jane Doe, whatever her name they want to call her testimony, and it will give you exactly what was said.
Patricia, if you understood what happened in court today, once I finish with this, you'll probably get a better idea of why we say he's coming home.
Yeah, he's definitely coming home.
These trials,
he's definitely coming home.
Piggybacking off of each other. So
He's definitely
he would
coming.
really need New York's trial in order for the Chicago trial to even have some type of win. I don't know if you followed the Chicago when they were asking for bond. He never got a bond in Chicago simply because he couldn't get a bond in New York. They was basing everything off of New York. So when I finish with this, you'll probably have a better understanding. Yes, Felicia.
Yes, you can put it on your page. Y'all share this.
Did I miss any other lives? Okay. Questions. Any questions over there?
Let's see. You guys got any questions? Okay, it says just good. Are you reading on YouTube or another outlet? We haven't decided which way we want to do it.
What's the question?
Are we gonna read
YouTube.
this transcript on YouTube or another outlet? We're gonna read it on YouTube, she says. But here's the deal. We may not read it. But see, the thing is, it's not gonna be
blocked on Facebook.
Her page is blocked. Okay.
I'm gonna make it.
I'm
gonna make it public.
We might, because it's not gonna be fair for those who paid, right?
Oh.
We gotta find a way for them to see it.
Oh yeah, you can do that.
It's not gonna be fair. It's not gonna be fair to them.
We gotta figure that out.
We gotta figure it out.
So tomorrow, Azriel is still actually on the stand. She didn't finish. It was so much. Oh my gosh, you don't even understand. It was so much. They did not finish with her today. So tomorrow make the third day that she's on the stand. So we got a little bit of time.
You know what? Since I am paying for what's the name, what I'll do is give y'all a code. Those who have paid, those who have donated, all those who's donated, all those who have, get the, okay, here's the thing. Everybody that has donated to the transcript, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna send y'all invites to see the screening, for us to do the live there. That's the way I'm gonna do it. Those who have donated for the transcript, we're gonna do a private meeting, and you guys we'll get this chance to read it to you guys. Those who donated the $50, they're gonna get one copy of the transcript yourself. And those who donate $75 gonna get 3 copies, all 3. Okay, that's the way we're gonna do it. Everybody who has donated, I have your list, because when you donate, I see your name on my thing, and you just make sure I have your email, and I'll email you the code to get into the group meeting. Sounds good? That's a fair way of doing it, right?
I didn't even hear what you said.
But then we're gonna also give you guys the regular people you're gonna get the notebook formula.
Yeah, I can barely sit here and read that.
Okay, that's what we're gonna do. Okay. That's what we're gonna do. Those who have donated, when I get back home, we're gonna do a private meet, and I'm gonna get your email. Give me your email. Everybody that has donated, everybody who donated, get to come in. But those who want to transcript, if you pay $50, you get 1 copy. If you pay $75, you get all 3 copies. The reason why I'm doing that, because I need to get the new set of trial. Because remember, this trial is gonna go on for a couple of weeks. So I want to try to get everything for you guys. You get what I'm saying? So I figure $75 is good for all 3, right? Yeah. They've been reading the transcript already? What blogger has been reading the transcript?
They reading.
What transcript they reading?
They won't necessarily drop the trial or the cases, but I think
thanks, Lisa.
The government will be quicker to offer probably drop some of the charges from it or offer better deals or something like that.
My Cash App is up there, PayPal's up there, and Zelle is up there.
Minnesota is bullshit anyway.
You can donate anything just for us to get into the reading. You can donate anything.
That Minnesota, that don't
anything
involve nothing but a simple little prostitution charge.
Yeah, it's not and Spitfire. You're gonna get your 3 copies because you already did yours.
I think a public defender can beat that.
But
shit.
those who wants to just come into the meeting, anything, any kind of donation, because we're trying to get enough for us to get back in there. You can donate $5. Yeah, $5 for the private fee. That's fair. Okay, $5 for just to be able to come in. Because remember, the transcript. You see how much it
hear what
costs.
Sylvia talking about? If y'all
I'm
want
sorry.
transcripts.
Transcript for the actual hearing. I mean hearing trial. It's 233 pages on one, 285 on another, and 235. I think it's a lot of pages.
Does it cost? It does not cost to get into court. It does not cost, but they only allow
8 people.
8 people. So me and Sylvia literally get out there at 2, 3 in the morning.
Yep, because
we don't go in until 9.
We get up early in the morning and we stand on that line all morning long. So it costs. It's no joke.
Okay. It says, does it? Oh, you just answered that. Okay. So the prosecution is. So I'm still with the prosecution question as Riel. They asked her to just describe some of the restrictions that was put on them when they talk to family. And well, she basically said they couldn't talk to family at all. Then she proceeded to say he told her he can only talk to them about where they've been, nails, things like that. They couldn't talk about him having other girlfriends. They couldn't talk about the abuse. She said he was always present and tell her what to say whenever she was talking to her family. She even when he wasn't around, she said that she didn't text them in fear of getting in trouble. She said that he said if they violated, he would know if they did something on their phones that they didn't tell him about because his engineers would be able to hack into their phones basically. Hey sis, hey Mian. His engineers' names was Ian and Abel. Ian and Abel. And then what's okay, look, this is funny. So she said his engineers' names was Ian and Abel. They went to put up pictures of them. She said she could not she couldn't tell, she didn't know which one was which. And she said because the only time that she seen them is when she went into the studio and they always had their backs to her. So she only seen the back of their head, so she don't know. All she knew was that they were Caucasian. But then she proceeded to say under cross-examination that they brought Rob food. She interacted with them then. She seen the side of their face. It kept switching up. They showed the picture and that's Abel. So now all of a sudden, if you ask her a few more questions, then she able to recognize who she couldn't recognize because at one point she only seen the back of their head.
Which Panic called her out on that.
Oh, so yeah, she says she's seen them bring him coffee. Then she claims she still never seen their faces. Judge had to get involved because they was going back and forth and she was acting like she couldn't understand what he was saying to her. So that was the first lie of the day that they really had caught her in. And that was the first time that Kanik had actually, I'm in New York. Yeah, that was the first time today that he had actually redirected, cross-examined her. And then she said she did recognize the engineers because they were always in the control room. And she recognized which one Abel was when they showed her the picture. The prosecution asked her, what negative things did he tell you to say? What negative things did he say to you about your parents? And she said the girlfriends, were worthless to the parents. She said that Rob's parents sold them to him. This is funny. She said that his ex-manager, Mace, had gave her father a few bricks.
You know what bricks is, right? Drugs.
In exchange for her.
Money is drugs, right?
Bricks.
What's bricks?
Okay.
Cocaine, drugs.
It's drugs. Okay, again, this not nothing that we making up. This came right out their door to mouth.
Yep.
today.
Yeah.
She said this. We ain't saying none of this.
Did you talk about the beating?
Nope.
Okay.
She said that they gave her, they sold her for some bricks. That's what Rob. She said that's what Rob had told her. And he told her that he treats them better than their parents do. The prosecution introduces Exhibit 68, which was just a picture of nephew. That's a nickname. I don't know his real name. They did not give us the real name.
She said she didn't know the real name.
She said she didn't know the real name, and the courts didn't provide it. She said she first met him. They asked, when did you first meet him? She said she really can't. This is what she says when she lying. She don't recall.
Oh, they don't call her Zell anymore, Ava. No. They call her Jane.
Yeah, she was the only one that wasn't allowed to use a nickname. She's the only one that's being referred to as a Jane Doe. So she said she really couldn't recall when she first met him, but she said Rob did introduce them. He had been expressing for a period of time that he wanted her to meet nephew. And then one time she was on punishment pairing. That's what it was, y'all. It's called pairing. She was on punishment for pairing off, meaning that they weren't allowed to talk about whatever they did with Rob with the other girls. She was on punishment for that because she talked about family, previous life, personal relationships. Once he learned about the parent, it was Diana.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. At this time, that's when he learned that she was pairing off. She was at the hotel with Diana. She was not at the hotel with Juice. It was Diana Copeland. They were sitting at the pool. She said Rob was boasting about his love for her, how much he loved Azriel, and she was the one, blah, blah, blah. She said she started to feel guilty, and she told him that she had been pairing off. He told her that, he was telling Diane he wanted to spend the rest of his life with her. He told her to go back to her hotel room after she told him she was pairing. He made her once she got to the hotel room, he scolded her some more, and then he made her go to the bus. And then that's when she went on the bus with Joy and Dominique. She received the punishment I already told you guys about a little bit earlier. But then her punishment wasn't over, because after that, he told her to go get naked. And this is when nephew was brought into the picture. She was in her room, and when she was in her room, she said Rob has a special knock. The prosecution actually made her demonstrate what his knock sounded like. They had to do it twice so they could count the knocks. So it's a total of 5 knocks. When he knocked like that, they knew that was him. She said when he knocked on the door, they are supposed to stand behind the door, because when they opened it, they didn't know who he was with. And that person wasn't allowed to see them. So she was standing behind the door. Whenever she came from in front of the door, she noticed nephew was there, and he was butt naked. She said Rob was also naked, correct? Rob was also naked. He came into the room, and he instructed her to be calm. What did he say? He wanted her basically to perform like she performed with him. She said he didn't want me to embarrass him. So she proceeded to have oral and vaginal sex with nephew. In between that time, she said she noticed Rob would go in and out of the room, him and nephew, every 2 minutes. She said she learned later that he was actually having sex with her, and then they would leave out, go have sex with Joy, come back, have sex with her. And he was doing that back and forth. She didn't say for how long, but it went on for, I guess, the night or whatever. Let me see what else he catch up to.
We don't know who nephew is.
Don't know who nephew is. But he, Azriel said that Rob told her that he had been grooming nephew since he was a kid. Yeah. He said he'd been grooming nephew the same way he grooms them, since he was little. Okay, so that's what we just talked about. All of that. That was a lot. She said she slept with nephew plenty of times. Yeah. all at the direction of Rob, and he recorded every single time she was with him. Okay, so
we don't know who her nephew is.
She saw them all the time. Oh, you talking about the engineers? Oh, well, yeah, on the stand, she said she only seen the back of their heads.
She didn't know which one was Ian. She didn't know which one was Abel.
Okay. Then someone else was there around 28, been going back and forth. Okay. She says this all happened. She wasn't sure. She couldn't remember if the sex between her, Rob, nephew, and Joy was happening at the studio or at Trump. She couldn't recall. I just talked about that. They asked her why. She was asked, why would you do it if you didn't want to do it? And she said because she would have been
in trouble anyway.
She would have got a spanking anyway. So if you was going to get a spanking anyway, why not take the spanking instead of doing that? You're going to get it anyway. You just, okay.
Okay, somebody got a question. She said Rob does what drug? No, she didn't say Rob does drugs.
She said Rob bought her, sold Angelo some bricks to buy her.
Yeah. She's basically trying to say he's a drug dealer.
Yeah.
Which was
Rob look good right now. He look good.
He looks really.
You know what?
Boof. Big.
He
looks happy. I'm not gonna say happy, but he look
hurt. I think he looked hurt because I think he's disappointed.
That's a word. Disappointed.
You know, when I get to the end of this, the stuff that he was doing for that girl and for her to do this, to do what she's doing is sad. And he sat at the table. He had his hands crossed. He was drawing a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can tell that he was doing that, and
he had on a gray suit. Just want to tell you.
Yeah, he looked good.
He had on black suit yesterday. Let me see.
I think deep down he was so happy that this shit is finally coming out because the stuff I haven't touched the surface of the shit that y'all need to hear. When I tell y'all this, it's just like, damn.
He come. We got more stuff to tell you. Okay. He coming home.
So they were talking about, they started going over, now this still the prosecution. Over time, some of the women left Rob. She said yes, they did. Come July 2019, as Dominique Joy, maybe she said maybe Dominique was gone by then, so she changed it. V and Juice were all gone by this time, and that's July 2019. Yeah, we have not seen any video.
Jurors is taking notes. Yes, they taking notes. I don't think she's allowing video because she let them see it, but she won't put it in for us to see a video. She wasn't letting us.
Well, it depends because if they underage, that's child pornography.
Yeah, even when the video about the president. Oh, okay. They
didn't show it. She said they're not going to
show it to her.
They had to show it to her, but they needed for her to say deny it in order to show it to the jury. Okay. So she the main by July 2019, only Az and Joy was there for the most part.
Did he just say, Sylvia, can I just finish? What? Dude.
Lucky he not throwing him on. Where is Joy? I don't know where Joy is.
Look, we're asking. Look, Dom, if you don't want to, you know, we could go to kick rocks.
He like, what happened? Shit,
he get on my nerve.
I be feeling like that sometimes too.
Okay, let's stop teasing them. Let's tell them. Go ahead. Okay.
So she said over 5 years, he did continue to chastise her. They said he should say yes, he did. Exhibit 457. 458, 459, 4460. These were all letters. They asked if she recognized. They showed her the exhibit. She said she did. These were letters that she had wrote to Rob if she didn't have a phone. So in a situation where she was on punishment or something and he took her phone, she would have to write him letters. There were two type of letters. You have an apology letter and you have a letter basically
telling you that you did something
to incriminating yourself or your family or something like that. So those were the two type of letters. This letter was, I think she said it wasn't an apology. Hold on one second, y'all. And that was when she messed up, did something. Her first letter, she was telling Rob basically nothing she will ever do will be good enough for him, and she's no longer she's willing to be chastised, but she's no longer willing to accept the spankings. That's the first letter. Now remember, yesterday she testifies chastised equals spankings. Today she's saying she told him she don't mind being chastised, but she won't take no spankings. Lie number 2. That letter she wrote was front and back, full page. Then she said everything with her. She said everything she do is a problem, but not with the other girls. The little things that she
competition
do,
to look like
the little things she do, he has a problem with it. But if the other girls want to do it, it's just like okay, they don't have to answer as many questions as she had to answer. So that's what the first letter was about. Second letter, she was saying again, she don't mind getting chastised, but she's not getting the spanking. She compares herself a lot to Joy in these letters. Mm-hmm. And she says he doesn't treat Joy the way he treats her. And she said, if she's apologizing, just accept it. Apology is an apology, just accept it. And he won't do that. The third letter she wrote on the back of a book cover because she said she had no paper. And she said, Rob always said, well, if you ain't got what you need to improvise. So she improvised and she wrote on the back of a book cover. And in that, she said, if Joy said she wanted to do something, you would say, okay. But with her, it would be a million extra questions. And she said she was getting spankings that nobody else was getting, and it seemed like she was getting them every day. The fourth letter, they found it was torn in half. Prosecution is still questioning her, y'all. The fourth paper was torn in half. They put it back together, and again, it's just the main issue. She's just comparing how he treats her and how he treats Joy. She was saying she think he got mad at her because she texted him, but she's saying, but when Joy texts you, you didn't get mad. She was saying she didn't want to be in a relationship if it was going to be this challenge and be this nitpicked. And he's saying things just to start arguments for no reason. And she said he was nitpicking with her and he was starting the arguments with her because she was the closest to him. So she was basically saying she don't want that if that's how that's gonna go. All these letters were in full length letters. I don't understand when they was telling us for so long his dyslexia is so bad. So how are they writing these full page letters? Front and back.
Front and back.
Just
long page, especially the text message. With long text messages. Lord have mercy.
So they asked her, so as of today, do you mind being chastised today? She said no. And they said, do you mind being spanked today? She said no. So the prosecution went back and said, wait a minute, did you answer that question right? Because you said that you don't mind being chastised today. So she kind of cleared that up. Oh, yeah, I do mind. She said, either way, it's abuse. She don't want none of it because it's all abuse. She was redirected on that question once she said that. And then she said, well, she didn't deserve neither.
You know what I like about
Azriel is still testifying. We don't know who's next because they said that they have to rearrange some things to see who needs to go next. So her testimony threw everybody off today. So
yeah, because she's going to go on her third day of testimony.
I'm gonna keep it up. I'm pretty sure he does.
She's answering questions, y'all.
She wrote when she left, and they say he can't read. Right, that's what I'm saying, Kendra. If he can't read, I don't know what she was doing. I said that. I said she dumped in a cup.
We're gonna be here all night.
Didn't she?
Ma'am.
Didn't she say that she took a poop in that cup twice? Today she said she only did it once.
Ma'am, stop reading because we gotta go to bed.
Those letters.
We gotta go to bed, y'all.
Okay, and I just explained to you guys that those wasn't apology letters and those wasn't the other kind of letters either. So then they started to ask her about surviving R. Kelly. She said she's familiar with it, but Rob's told them about it, and he told them there was going to be a docuseries coming out about him. He told them that it was all false and that he had served lifetime of cease and desist. At that time, it was only her and Joy living with him. And then if the show had came on or if they seen previews or something, they were told to turn it off, change the channel. And then he told them he would make a time to speak. Okay, so then he asked them if I came up with a time for you guys to speak to the public, would you be willing to do that? And she said yes. So she said he proceeded to prepare them for the interview. So this is leading up to the Gayle King. Mm-hmm. He began to prepare them for that interview. Basically, they did like mock questions, and then they were supposed to write down questions for him, ask him, and they give answers. Basically, she said that they did this for several weeks. Mm-hmm. Up into that Gayle King interview. Mm-hmm. Questions, let me see, ask about. They said Gayle. She asked, this is Kennick. He came on and he said, well, do you know who Gayle King is? And she said, I think she's a news anchor. And they asked, where was Rob when you were doing the interview? And she said he was in a hotel. They asked,
was it at your home? Was it at the home?
But it wasn't. It was in a home. It was in a residence side of the Trump Towers. It wasn't on the hotel side.
But then she said hotel.
But she said it was on the hotel side. Then they asked, was she being truthful in that interview? And she said no, she was not being truthful. And then they asked, what was Rob doing? And she said that he was basically coughing. He would cough a certain type of way just to let them know that he was in the room. She didn't say to let them know that he was in the room to like scare them or anything like that, but just to make his presence known. By the summer of 2019, she said that there was actually a period of time that she didn't live with him in 2019. It was she moved out of the Trump, and she said there was a period of time where she didn't live with him, but by October 2019 is when she actually moved out of Trump. She became a federal informant January 2020. Mm-hmm. Mind you, she left Trump October 2019.
Yep, Trump 2019.
The last questions prosecution asked, did Rob take any steps to help you in your music career? No. Mm-mm. She described time together as abusive. Mm-hmm. And she said come January 2020, she no longer had any contact with him.
She cut off communication. She left him. That's what she said.
We went to break right then. That was it. Prosecution wrapped. They was done.
Now here comes the defense. Woo! Cross-examination time.
For other people that's watching this that plan on coming to New York, there will be, normally they don't have trial on the Friday, but on the 3rd, September 3rd, they will be having trial because that following week, the September 8th and 7th and 8th, they're going to be off. So that's going to be a short week. So they're going to make that week before a little bit longer. And then the following week is also going to be a short week. So they're going to be having trial on that Friday as well. So, okay, so now she comes back after the break. Kennick is questioning her. He started out saying, so you went to high school? She said, yes. He said, did you graduate? She said, yes. with a diploma, 2016.
Did you forget? Oh, hold on.
I'm doing it exactly in the order that they did it.
No,
Remember they went back and forth?
Okay. Sorry.
I'm doing it. Yeah, I'm just reading it right out the book.
Okay. I was told not to disturb her. Sorry. Go ahead.
So she said, was there a graduation ceremony? We all seen the pictures, right? Uncle Rob holding the little nephew. Mm-hmm. You know what she said? She did not recall.
She didn't recall that, y'all.
How the heck you don't recall if you had a graduation ceremony? What's my brother? Will left yesterday, Kevin. But I think he coming back.
Yeah.
She fucking up their case. Oh, she already effed up their case.
Oh.
Is she finished testifying? She is not finished testifying.
She took.
You got any questions on your side before I get in? Because this finna get juicy, y'all. Now we getting juicy. Because Kanik is questioning her now. Do they have any videos? Okay, nope, that's done.
Okay, we're not gonna do no more questions. Okay, we're gonna finish this.
So she said she didn't recall if she had a graduation ceremony. She did not recall the date or the time of year it was when she graduated.
Lie number 1. Number 2, 3, 4, 5.
4, 6.
Bunch of lies.
He asked her if she met with the government several times. She says yes, don't know when was the last time. So he questioned her a little bit more. She said she actually was questioned right before she began to testify this morning. Then he asked, was that the only time that you met with the government? No, she was there Saturday. She was there on Sunday. She said she didn't remember this, y'all.
She didn't remember.
After several times he had to ask the question, she finally remembered that she was actually being going over her testimony for about 7 hours on Sunday. He asked again, was that the only time you went over your testimony with the government? No, I think it was Saturday too. How long on Saturday? Probably about the same amount of time, 7 hours. So Saturday and Sunday, she spent 14 hours with the government going over her testimony. He asked again, was that the only time that you was with the government going over your testimony? Oh, probably last week too. It was like 2-3 days last week too, for the same amount of time, 7 hours each day. Yes, somebody going to jail, that's for sure.
Oh, they all going to jail, y'all. Wait till y'all hear this. They going down.
So all the documents, all the exhibits, all the pictures, everything, they had already went over everything that they would be showing in court with her. So she testified today that yes, they did go over everything with her already. She says they asked, how many posts have you made about R. Kelly since his arrest? Guess what she said, y'all? She said 5. She said maybe 5 or less. She's only talked about him publicly 5 times. That's fucking hilarious.
I didn't check my Cash App yet. I'll check afterwards, y'all. We're trying to get it over with so I can go to bed.
She said 5 times. He asked, were you monetized for these videos or posts or whatever you made? She said no. Well,
somebody didn't know. No, the judge didn't know what monetized was.
Right, he asked, are you getting paid for this? And she said, not all of them. 5 videos, y'all. That's all she did was 5. Okay. Asked about years of abuse. She went back and she told Kanik it started in 2005. So he asked, okay, well, what's the date that you met Rob in 2000? I'm sorry, y'all, 2015. What day did you actually meet Rob? She said, I don't recall. So he said, well, do you remember testifying about when the abuse started? You said it was a few months after you moved in with him. She said she couldn't recall.
She said it was right after.
And then she said she couldn't recall when the school year ended, but she testified she moved in at the end of the school year, beginning of the summer. She said she couldn't recall when the abuse started, but she knew it was a few months after she moved in with him. However, she moved in with him when the school year ended.
Yes. Yes, but
so they had to prove that. So that was lie number 7. He had to show her that's the one.
He had to get the calendar.
Because she said, well, I don't know. She didn't know when school. He said, well, when did school end? She said, I don't recall. So he went and he got a calendar and he showed her 2015 and it showed when the last day of school was, which was June the 3rd. And she said, oh yeah, June the 3rd.
Okay, there it is.
Now she said, but then she said, oh, see, I think you're mistaken when I'm talking. I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. I actually left school a little bit early. So it was earlier than that because she said that she was with Rob and May. So she said, well, you guys were mistaken, or you misunderstood me. I left school a little bit early, so she's saying that she actually left before June 3rd. So now they started narrowing down when did the abuse begin again. So then she said 2 months. 2 months after she moved in. He asked her what kind of abuse. She said, it was the slap in the park when I told him that I was only 17. He asked, did you tell your parents? She said she didn't tell her parents. She said she didn't, and she also stated at that time it was a question asked, but she said her parents did not tell her to tell Rob she was 18.
But yesterday,
so yesterday in her testimony, the prosecution asked her, what section were you in when you met Rob? She said she was in section C. So today they asked her, what section were you in when you met Rob? She said, I was in section B. So then they went and said, okay, well, we're going to show you what your testimony was yesterday. Yesterday you said you was in section C. And she said, well, the sections were, if you go into a section, you can actually get into the other section. So our ticket said section C, but we actually just said in section B. That was today.
Oh, I like
this just from yesterday. She's, oh Lord. Okay. Anyway, when she
you
said,
sitting in the pit.
Yeah.
Was there other people around you?
You probably have to say that. I don't know if I put too much about the pit. But they asked, didn't your mother tell you to go get Rob's attention? She said she didn't recall. So just so you know, basically, she's not trying to contradict what she may have said in statements to the government before. So instead of her saying yes or no and her contradicting herself, she's just saying, I don't recall.
I don't recall.
That's what they do when they teaching you on the stand how to not get caught up, because everybody knows if you tell them one thing and then you come back and say another, that's a crime. So to keep her from plagiarizing herself or whatever, she's just saying, I don't recall. So anytime in this case, she says she don't recall, she lying. And I'm not saying that just to be saying that because I'm a supporter of Rob or anything, but as I keep proceeding, you're going to understand why I'm saying when she say she don't recall, she's lying.
I also want to bring up the part where inside the her section of that show, he asked, was it a whole bunch of people around you? Did you write that part? No. Okay. She said that he asked.
Oh yeah, I did.
You did? Okay. She wrote it down.
Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. So they asked, didn't your mother tell you to get Rob's attention? She said she didn't recall. He said, didn't your mother tell you to reach out your hand to his? She said she didn't recall. So then they showed her another exhibit of her reaching her hand out to grab Rob's, while there's other women also reaching their hand out. So then she said, well, yeah, I guess I did.
But remember, she tried to make it seem like Rob reached out to her, right. Touch her
Yesterday, hand. She said that he was performing songs strictly for her.
Yeah.
He was giving her more attention than anyone else at that show, is what her testimony was yesterday. Today, it's clear that she was reaching out for his attention. He wasn't looking for hers. So then they asked, Kennick said, well, didn't he touch a number of the people's hands? And then she said, no, he only touched about 10. And Kennick said, well, isn't 10 a number? So the courtroom fell out on that because she was trying to be a smart ass.
And then he told me I was the only one that he was looking at. And he said, there was people in front of you? Wasn't there people on the side of you? Wasn't there people behind you? What about people back of you? And she was like, oh.
Yeah. She said, oh, yeah, I didn't recall.
And
So
but the black panty. Tell us about the black panty one. You said he only gave you the black panty, but didn't he give black panty to other people in the audience?
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
like,
well, see, the black panties, I didn't want to touch on that just yet because
okay.
that go into that picture.
Okay. Sorry.
So he had also said, he asked her, did you ever get on stage at that concert? And she said, no. And then he said, so you're saying that you never got on the stage? She said, no, I didn't get on the stage. And he said, so you wasn't on a speaker? She said, no. He said, so you was never on the speaker twerking? Well, I was on the speaker, but the speaker wasn't on the stage. And then he said, but you were twerking. And she said, no, I was just moving my body. And he said, well, what do you call that when you moving your body?
He said, what kind of dance?
What kind of dance is that? And then she said, it's just dancing. It's the same thing everybody do. I'm answering it just as she was how she responded. It was just dancing, the same stuff everybody do. What kind of dancing is that? The judge actually had to intervene and ask her, what is the name of the dancing that she was doing? Twerking. So he said, so you were indeed twerking on the speaker on the stage. Yes. While her parents was there. So then she proceeded to tell her parents, which she did not say yesterday, Rob looked at me. I think he liked me. She said, oh, I don't recall saying that. But then again, every time they asked her these questions, I don't know why she didn't catch on. They obviously had some type of documentation to back up what they saying. So she said she didn't recall, then they showed it to her. I guess I said it. Then they began to talk about the mother texting Rob. Yesterday, it was a matter of a couple of weeks. Today, she said, oh, it was only a few, 2-3 days.
Yeah.
They asked, did Rob not ask your mother how old you was? And she said she didn't know about that. She didn't see that text message. Although yesterday she said she noticed that her mom had been texting him for some time. So to know that he had been texting her for some time, that means you had to go through the messages to come up with that time frame. Today she said she didn't see any messages with him saying, him asking for her age and what the mother said. So clearly she protecting the mom right there. She claims all she saw was pictures her mother had sent. They asked, how long did your mother text Rob? She said 2 days. How many texts was it about? She said she couldn't recall how many texts. So at this point, they asked her, now, isn't it true that you did not want to sing at this point? We're in April 2015, y'all. Isn't it true that you did not want to sing at this point? Is it not true that your parents actively beat you just to make you sing? And she said yes. They were beating her to make her sing, y'all.
Yeah. She was
Is there any questions?
She was being abused, y'all.
She was being abused. Hey, everybody. So now y'all understand why he probably had a soft spot in his heart for her and didn't want to send her home when he probably should have and things like that because she probably told him about the abuse. And we know Rob's history, so just his heart. Yeah. So he thought he was taking her out of a situation and putting her into a better one just to get screwed over. But it's okay because God don't like ugly. After that, they sidebar for a little bit. That's when they asked about the black panties. After the sidebar, then they came back and she asked about Kanik asked about the black panties that she had received. We can't tell who she was making eye contact. I'm pretty.
She kept looking down. She kept looking down today.
Once she started getting caught up in some of this stuff, she put her head really in her lap almost, and she was looking down the whole time. Mm-hmm. I can tell you, Rob never really looked at her. No, he didn't look her way at all.
He shook his head a couple of times
as she was answering questions. He shook his head
like in disbelief, like.
She tried to say yesterday, well, she didn't mention it at all yesterday, but she tried to say he gave her a pair of black panties, but in actuality, she was not the only one in that pit that actually got black panties. She actually went on to Twitter. She posted them on Twitter. There was a post that she made about the black panties. I remember seeing it. They showed her the post, but they didn't show it to us, so I can't tell you guys what the post actually said. So in April 2015, I was telling you guys that she said that she was a member of the Patriots. She'd been with that group for an entire year. Talked about yesterday. She talked about how she didn't get any scholarships to college because she was no longer in those groups. She was taken out of school and she was forced to do the homeschooling. But today we found out that she was never offered any scholarships. Yeah.
Yeah, so how could you say you lost scholarship when you wasn't even eligible for the scholarship?
So now, you guys remember yesterday? Yeah, you never got any scholarships whatsoever. So yesterday, she said, Rob, when she was going to audition when she first met Rob, right? She was going to audition. She said that she sent him a video singing. He liked it. Everything with some music, right? So then they said, well, weren't you trying to take a break from music at this time? When you met Rob, you didn't even want to do music. She said, I don't recall. And then they said, well, you she don't think she just shot. She said she don't think that she wanted to take a break from music because she had just shot an unreleased music video, and the music video was called Liar Liar. So she said, so no, I don't think I was trying to take a break from music. But then they said, they asked her a question. I don't know what the question was. They called her up, asked her a question. Then she said, well, you know what? I was taking a break, but it wasn't a break. It was a transition. I was transitioning from music. So if you was transitioning from music, what is you doing looking for R. Kelly for what? At this point, what was the purpose? She said that there had been well, that's what he asked. If you was taking a break from music, why would you send a video of yourself in your panties and bra singing the song Liar Liar, but you're not trying to be in music? So that's when she was transitioning. Her parents wanted him. She asked about. Kennick asked her about stuff her parents was trying to get in business with him with. Some of them things was they wanted to market a Bluetooth.
Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one.
What's that? Exactly. So at one point, Kennick did stop her and he asked her, did the government explain to you giving a false statement under oath what that is? Did they explain to you that that's a crime? She said yes. And then he said, well, did they explain to you the consequences? He said no. She said no. So he did basically tell her that. She talked about her parents wanting her again. She's saying this. We've been saying it, but she's now saying this. Wanted to market a Bluetooth dildo. The mother was promoting, says she. Oh, no, remember the mother was promoting the dildo. They asked, and she said she didn't recall her mother promoting that. Then she said they asked, what did Rob say about it? And she said, actually, Rob said to make him an offer. Kenny said, didn't Rob refuse that? Didn't she try to give that to him and he refused it? She said, no, he didn't. He actually said to make him an offer. So they said, so at your graduation, your parents made a proposal to him for a Bluetooth dildo and he refused it. She said, no, that's actually where he made the offer. So he never refused that deal and said he did not want to do anything like that. He wouldn't put his name on that. She said, yeah, he said that, but that was in private to me.
Tell her all the things that the mom wanted to do, the jobs.
So, yeah, she said so. Yeah, he did say he didn't want to do it, but she claims that was just to her. So as well as the did though, they also wanted him to do a food truck. They wanted him. Angelo tried to get him to do so. He wanted to be Rob's lightning guy. The mother tried to get a job with Rob.
The driver.
Well, first she said they said no, and didn't your mother try to get several jobs with him? And she said no. They said again, your mother did not try to get any jobs. She said, well, actually, it wasn't my mom. I tried to get him to give my mom a job. So then they went back to her statement to the government and showed her that she actually said her mother tried to be his assistant, tried to be his driver, and was it something else? I think that was it. But that's what 5 things right there. 5 things that they already trying to get Rob to do, and he said no to all of them.
Did you talk about how the parents were the one who said that they're going to call the police? They're going to be downstairs for 30 minutes. They're going to call the police to come up there yesterday.
You right. You right. She did say she didn't recall when the graduation was, but she knew that that's where the business deals was going down at the graduation. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying about the I just forgot. Sorry, I'm old.
Okay, what did she say when they asked her about eating feces? She said Rob wasn't there. She did that on her own. She said yesterday she did it twice, but today she said she only did it once. Yeah.
My answer to y'all, you guys, the parents are going to jail. They're going to jail.
Right.
Ain't she going to jail?
You're right. The defense hasn't even they haven't even brought their best yet. Okay, so then she says she was going back and forth with Kanik because she kept saying my mom didn't try to get a job. I told her to. She tried to get a job as a driver. She's studied going back and forth. No, just for it to come out that her mom actually did. Because so what's going on is they're actually giving her statements that she made to the government originally. So all this stuff was she told to the government about her parents. So they're presenting her with stuff that she actually said. And now she's coming into court. Well, she actually testified to the grand jury saying something totally different.
And then she said the government's the one that lied.
Yeah, she said no, they lying. She said that the government is lying. She didn't say this stuff. So yeah. They says, did your mother tell you to take pics that could be used as blackmail? She says no. So they bring out exhibit AC2. And it says, isn't it fact that you told the government in 2020 that before you met Kelly, you were taking a break from music, and then she said that she was transitioning before she said no. Today with that the blackmail, the mother had actually told her to take several pictures. So do you guys remember those pictures that was released of Azriel sitting on Rob's lap and she kissing his cheek? I talked about them yesterday too, because the government showed those pictures as part of their evidence. She's kissing his cheek, they staring into each other's eyes, all of that stuff. I think some people had it on their channels and they was talking about Rob. Y'all remember that? Okay, those were staged. The mother told her to take those pictures in those positions just so that she could have some collateral and whatever that she needed if Rob did not do any of these business deals with them. And Azriel testified to that. So again, I'm not saying this. Their daughter said this today. She asked, identify herself. She met with the government, she said. Okay, so when she talked to the government in 2020 and they asked her, when you met with Rob at the Dolphins Hotel, what were you wearing? She told the government she was wearing some baggy clothes. She testified yesterday that she had on a mesh, and today she actually was wearing a mesh top with a crop top underneath, tight jeans, and those kitty heels. So she lied to the government or she lied to us today. She lied to the government because they actually have a picture of her in the outfit that she described. She had told the government that she had just gotten out of her weightlifting class. But remember, When she said she was at her Patriot class, her music class yesterday. When she left her music class, she went to her friend's house, changed her clothes, and then went to the hotel and met Rob at the Sprinter. She had already told the government that she was at a weightlifting class. That's when Kanik said, did the government advise you about making false statements? Did they tell you that making false statements was a crime? She said yes. She said, but they didn't tell her the consequences. So just mind you how many lies. Y'all see all the lies they done caught up in. So then now they went back to the mom seeking employment. She says when she met with the government, her mother, she told the government her mother told her to meet with Rob for employment. She wanted to meet with Rob so he could give her some type of employment. She said she didn't recall telling the government that. They showed her the statement, proved it, and then they basically proved that it wasn't her suggestion, it was her mom's suggestion for her to get a job with Rob. I'm sorry. That's also what she said. No, the government was lying. Even though it's in the statement that that's what she said that no, she's pretty sure that she suggested the idea of getting a job. So they started to move to other questions. They go back to the Dolphin Hotel. Where you at? This chick that went to sleep on me, y'all. Sylvia, get up.
Oh my God, no.
She's gone to sleep on me. You leaving your live? Okay, so
I'm sleepy.
So y'all remember this is crazy.
I'm tired.
At the Dolphin Hotel, she said Rob asked to perform certain things on her. Police came, she spoke to them, she told them she was 18. They seen her ID, they called her parents on the speaker, spoke to them in her presence. This is everything that Kanik is saying to her, because this was her testimony yesterday. They never asked. So she said, but when you called your parents in front of the police, they never asked you to come downstairs. You never told them while you was on that phone that you were up there being violated. And even though you didn't want any of that to happen and you felt that you was violated, you still didn't mention anything to your parents. She said no, she didn't. And then she said, they said, and then you still proceeded to go to another city with him within a few days, even though you felt violated and you didn't want to do the things that you did. She admitted that no one went with her to the hotel. She said she didn't tell her parents, but yesterday she said she did.
I'm sleepy.
She lied about only flying out of school. What reason?
I thought you said we were gonna go to bed at 9 o'clock.
Okay, listen. Do y'all remember yesterday I said that she said she only was flying out of town with Rob on the weekends? Yes, okay. So Kenneth came back and said, so is it not true that you was with Rob on April 28th, 2015? She said, yes. He said, do you know what day that was? She said, no. That he gave her a calendar. It was on a freaking Tuesday.
Another calendar.
That was on a Tuesday. Not only was that on a Tuesday, but she admitted that she got stuck. So she didn't even go home. She proceeded to a whole nother city, y'all. So she was just out of school, just taken out of school, basically just to travel. Parents still not saying anything. From California, she went to Vegas. She said that she started stressing about the amount of school she was missing because she had a lot of work to make up, blah, blah, blah.
I remember, this is in what?
2015.
But what month?
April.
And she said he went to what? California, right?
Right. So she said she went to California with him. Yesterday, she testified that the first time they had vaginal sex, she testified that they were in Los Angeles.
California.
Jump to that part. They have documentation that Rob's concert was actually canceled in California. So he was never in Los Angeles. They did not have sex the first time in Los Angeles. He actually didn't perform in Los Angeles until October 2015. Her birthday is in December. She's saying that they had sex in April. She's lying. That was another big lie she got caught up in. He did not perform in Los Angeles in April. Yet she's testified that that's where she was with him.
Therefore, she did not have sex with the man. I'm sorry, I'm sleepy.
Okay, talking about a time she was different because it was more important.
And the judge said to her that she's been caught in so many inconsistencies.
Okay, so the judge basically, okay, so I'm gonna just tell you this. They asked her, when you got out of that Sprinter, where you had your own car there, so you could have drove yourself home. She said, no, I couldn't drive myself home. They said, well, why not? You had your own car. She said, well, his entourage had the ticket. And they said, the ticket? She said, yeah, I needed the little ticket to wave on the thing so the thing can go up and I can drive out. That's why she didn't go home. She proceeded upstairs and was violated. Make that make sense. She met with the government. So mind you, now remember I talked about the butt licking. She said that was the first thing that happened at the Dolphin Hotel. But in her statement to the government, she said when she met him at the hotel, Rob actually masturbated while she was singing. So now it's something different.
Liar,
okay?
liar,
so
pants on
she
fire.
Lying.
Liar, liar,
now
pants
she
on
lying.
fire.
And then he asked her, when you were giving your statements to these to the government, did you notice there were people in the room taking notes of what you were saying? First she said no, she didn't know. And then as more questions was going on, she admitted that there was 2 people in the room taking her statements. When he asked to identify the which people were taking the notes from the prosecution's table, she said she didn't remember. Basically, he was trying to point out, you were giving these statements, you seen that they were writing it down, and yet you still come in the courtroom and you lie.
Lie, lie, lie.
You know we have this evidence against you, and you still come in here and you lie.
She lied, John. She got caught.
Yep.
All those. I didn't even tell her about when he beat her, and he says, "Okay, you took pictures to take pictures to show that." He asked her, "Why did you take those pictures that you took?" He said, "Just in case something happened to her, right?" But remember, she got beat by the shoe in the face, and all got beaten in the face, beaten all over the place. And he asked her, "Why didn't you take pictures?"
So y'all remember yesterday she gave the statement that she was sending pictures to her friend, and her friend was sending pictures to her, and she told her, well, you can't do that because he checks my phone, and I told him you're my cousin, you're supposed to be my BFF, and I'm going to get in trouble, I'm going to get a spanking. She said that, right? Okay, well, he asked her today, if you can send pictures of you and Rob hugged up, kissing and this and that to your friend as proof in case something happened to you, how come you didn't send them pictures of all the bruises he supposedly put on you? How come you didn't send that so you can have some proof? She couldn't answer that. So then he asked her, what was the name of your new single called? Your old single called? Liar, liar?
They started calling her liar, liar.
He basically called her a liar, liar. So she said, Juice was with Rob almost every hour of every day, even though she said she was with him later on every day. Asked if a person lived in the house in Chicago or ATL, they never specified who this person was they was talking about because we wasn't able to see the pictures. And she said she didn't know where that person lived. And she said, well, where did you see this person at? She said, well, she was always at the house. Which house? The Chicago and the Atlanta house. But you didn't know where this person lived. Lied again.
That was Juice, y'all.
I mean, she was literally lying. Lie after lie.
Lie after lie. Oh my God. The prosecutor got so mad.
She was slamming stuff.
She was slamming. She snatched the paper from Janet hand. I mean, she was like,
make sure you ain't got no questions. Okay, what did the judge say about her being? That's exactly what the judge said. The judge said she's too inconsistent. She has too many inconsistencies in her story. Remember yesterday she told us that Rob didn't celebrate any holidays.
Woo!
Oh! So they asked her again, so did you not testify that Rob did not celebrate holidays? She said, well, he didn't.
He delayed it.
No, hold on. She said he didn't. He said, well, if he didn't celebrate holidays, wasn't it a Christmas? Rob rented a big ass house for the Christmas holiday. He was taking Christmas pictures, and he gave each one of his girlfriends $10,000
to buy a present for each other.
$10,000. And she said, yeah, but he didn't celebrate no holidays. She said, well, I didn't say that he didn't celebrate holidays. I said he delayed
them.
He said, okay, and we all seen the video that she actually released on Father's Day. Well, it was a couple of days after Father's Day where they was cutting that cake, and she said that Rob was really sad on Father's Day because he wasn't with his kids. Make that make sense. So then she proceeded to say, is it not true, Kenny, that he celebrated Father's Day, Mother's Day, 4th of July? She claimed he celebrated everything except she couldn't remember if he celebrated New Year's Eve, y'all. This is our motherfucking Kelly. If he celebrated all that, we know he celebrated New Year's Eve. That's the only one she said she couldn't remember if he celebrated. After testifying yesterday that he didn't celebrate none of them. The judge was like, okay, we need a lunch. It's time for a break. So at that point, we braked for lunch. That was about 10 minutes to 1. We braked to 2:15. We came back in at 2:15. She was back on the stand. This time she testified that her mother told her, they went back to the photos. Her mother told her to take as many photos as Rob as she could, especially kissing. She said yes. That's what she told the government. That is what's in her statement to them. She told the government that her mother wanted she said that her mother wanted this to be done so that she can exploit R. Kelly. Yep. Her exact words. They wanted to exploit him. Then she said something about the government was lying because she told us that Rob had actually took her virginity after her parents. Did y'all hear that statement when they said that she was trying to commit suicide and all that because her boyfriend cheated on her and this and that? And I believe they said she wasn't a virgin or something. Well, she told the government that Rob had took her virginity.
I just want to tell y'all, we were upstairs and Homeland Security was up there. The one guy that was doing the investigation.
Yeah, there was so many investigators in that courtroom listening to these statements.
And one of them put her hand to her face and going like this.
Yeah, this is what she doing. Yeah.
She did like this. She took her head just like this.
Homeland Security. About 5 or 6 of them was in the courtroom listening to all these statements. So if y'all think this is gonna be over with, it's not.
It's done.
It's not. Listen to what I'm telling you that she's testifying that her mother did.
And this is the person that they spend weeks and weeks prepping so they could have. She was the main the main, what do you call it? The star witness. The star witness. She was the star witness and she jacked them up. So you know they're coming after her, the daddy, the mama, all of them.
Robin, well, we gotta believe that if she putting everything on the mother, it was because it was the mother.
The mom
if you think about it, it was the mother admitted in her videos that she was the fan of R. Kelly. Eventually, she was the actual fan. Also remember them talking about they didn't want to believe all the stuff that they heard with the 2008 stuff and this and that. The mother was the fan. Let me see.
It was so bad, y'all, that the other witnesses that's coming, they're gonna let them do video conference. They're not gonna waste their money for them to come into town to testify.
I know I just told y'all this.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I know I just told y'all this, but just because I skipped ahead a little bit when I told y'all, but at this point is when the mechanic is asking her, didn't you tell the government you first had sex, you first had intercourse in LA, not Stockton? She said she don't recall. And so they started showing her what she told the government back in 2020. Basically, she told the government it proved that Rob wasn't in LA until October 2015. She said, oh, I don't recall. Then she says, yes, it was true. She wasn't in LA. Then, okay, so now we're going back to the police coming to the door at the hotel. When the police came to the door and they met her, she said, didn't you tell the government that he was masturbating in front of you while you were saying? She said she didn't recall telling the government that. They gave her the proof, and she still said she didn't remember. But get this, y'all. By the end of that, she testified today that her parents had actually set that up.
Yep, they set it up.
She said that her parents took her to their hotel. They waited downstairs for about 30 minutes, and then they proceeded to call the police so that the police can come upstairs and catch them in a compromising position.
Yep.
That's what she testified to today, y'all.
So it has been a setup from the beginning, y'all. This
it's
man
sad. I'm not even done with the setup part, but you will want to be in tears. It was so sad. It was so sad. She told the jury that Rob didn't actually help her with her singing. That's what she testified to before the prosecution finished with her. When in actuality, she told the government that he had spent hours a day working with her on her music, and he had told her that she needed to practice a little bit harder. Oh, no. She told him practice was just too hard for her. The practice that he was making her do on her singing, it was too hard for her. So if people ask why in 5 years he ain't done nothing to help that girl with her singing, he was trying to help the girl with her damn singing. She didn't want to do it. She said it was too freaking hard. She said she didn't recall saying that. However, they presented her again with the exhibit and show her that that's exactly what she told the government in 2020. And mind you, can't nobody say that she was telling the government this because she was trying to protect Rob and she wanted him to get off bullshit. She left him by the time she gave these statements. She was already gone. Mm-hmm. She testified she left him in October of 2019. There was no reason for her to tell this stuff to the government if it wasn't the truth.
Then they started bringing all the letters she was writing to Rob.
No, they didn't do that just yet.
Oh, okay.
She said he basically told her that she wasn't pulling her weight when it came to the music. She wasn't doing what she was supposed to. He told we went back to celebrating the holidays, and that's when she said she said it again that she never said that he didn't celebrate holidays. She said that he delayed them. She stuck to saying, oh no, they was just delayed. They go back to ask. She said, yeah, yes. In the midst, he gave out substantial gifts and even, okay. So in the holidays, not only did they get one Christmas $10,000, but he gave them so many gifts, and he sent some of the girls home to be with their families with gifts for their families at Christmas. And she just sat here and testified and said that he wasn't celebrating it at all.
Yeah, it was so sad. Everything that anybody have ever said about that man has all been lies, y'all. Just lies.
Yeah.
It's so sad. Even with the whole thing with the homosexuality, all of that lies.
It was lies.
Lies.
And I just wonder, what is Gayle King sitting at home saying right now? What is she thinking?
And the news is still not putting it out. I don't understand it.
So that's why it's important for us to give y'all these videos.
And it's in the transcript. I promise you, it's in the transcript.
So now they said she testified that those iPads that Rob carried in his bag, that he only used that to record sexual intimate moments with each other or whatever, with whoever. She testified today that the iPads were used to capture memories.
Everything that they did.
Trips, playing around the house, going to the beach, playing volleyball, having fun. She said she never recalled playing volleyball with him. Did she not release her own video of her at the beach playing with the water guns and hitting the volleyball with Rob and Joy? Did she not do that?
He was trying to create memories so he can always keep them
on the iPad. He wanted the memories on the iPads. That's what's on the iPads. That's why they have not made any mention of what they found in the storage.
It's all iPads of their lives memories together.
Okay, so y'all remember yesterday she testified that when they had to go to basketball and watch him play, that was every single day they had to watch him play basketball. They was not allowed to look at any other men. This was funny.
It's funny.
So
y'all.
He said, how could you just sit there and not watch other men while Rob was playing basketball and there's other men playing basketball? And she said, well, I just looked at the shoes. And then he said,
What color
okay,
the
well, what
shoes?
color was the shoes? And she was like, I don't recall.
He said, what kind of shoes?
What kind of shoes? I don't recall.
Well, he got thousands
But
and thousands
because
of
he got
shoes.
thousands of shoes. But I packed his shoes every day. I packed his gym bag. I packed his gym bag every day. So you don't know what kind of shoes was it? Were they Nikes? They could have been. He said, oh, was it an Air Force One?
Because remember, he hit her with an
And
Air
then
Force
she
One.
said,
Remember that?
No, it wasn't an Air Force One. So so then the judge came out and said, did you look at the other guys playing basketball? And she said, yes.
Because they kept going back and forth. She wouldn't answer the question. Then the judge stepped in. And then the judge said, did you see other men while you were playing basketball?
No, did you look at the other men while he was playing basketball? And she said, yes. So you just went through all of that for what? And you gonna say yes. Okay, so then she says, so remember, I just said it. She said it today. She said it yesterday. She said it in 2020. Whenever Rob was recording, because of the position of the iPad, she always knew that she was being recorded. Today, she testified that she did not know Rob was recording her when they was having sex. I think this girl get high. She has to get high because can't nobody be. You know what I'm saying? She literally said that she did not know what was being recorded. I think they will bring in the mom. Honestly, I thought they would. Okay, dumb criminals.
They so
How many
stupid.
witnesses does the government have?
They were so
not sure. I'm not sure because they said they got to do some rearrangement. She basically messed everything up. Some of these witnesses was only witnesses to her testimony. Her testimony is shot. So some of these witnesses that's why they're not even gonna bother even flying them in.
Yeah, they're not flying them in. They're not wasting their money.
They're not flying in witnesses. They actually just gonna do video call.
Yep. You should have seen the prosecution. She was so mad. Oh my God. That woman was so livid. At one point, she got on her phone. She was texting. She was texting somebody, and she got up. She went over there, and she asked the judge, "Can we have a sidebar?" So they let us out early today. So yes, it did, but we stayed behind and watched them talk.
So they asked about calling him daddy, and they said, "Well, you testified that that's the only thing you were allowed to call him," and she said yes. And so Kavanaugh said, "Well, didn't you call him Bear?" And she said yes. Well, at first she didn't say nothing. And then he said, "Well, what about Papa Bear?" And then she said yes. And before that he said, "How soon after meeting him were you required to call him daddy?" And she said immediately.
Hey, Old Cove, all y'all over there, y'all boy gonna probably get some time too. They going back and get all of them. Old Cove, I know y'all in my bushes. All y'all used to talk crap about Rob. They going down. All of them.
Right. And so at that point she was proving that she called him Bear and Papa Bear. So daddy was not the only thing that she was required to call him. And not only that, he also had nicknames. The other girls had other nicknames for him too, and he had other nicknames for them. But she said she didn't recall them all having nicknames. They showed her the documents prove that she lied. And then when they got to talking about, you know what, they didn't touch on that, so we're not going to talk.
She lied on the stand there, y'all. Not one time, but every single statement she lied. And the judge saw it. The judge said she's inconsistent.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Then they asked her, didn't Rob put you on a pedestal? She says no. They say what she told the government that he did, and she showed proof. And then she remembered saying it. And then she said, but he didn't, but it was in the docs. So she told the government that he treated her very good. He put her on a pedestal. She said she didn't remember saying that even after they showed her the proof that she said it. You know what I don't understand though? If the government has her saying all of this stuff, why would they still allow her to get on the stand and coach her? I don't know if we're gonna say coach her because they spent so much time on the stand with her and they knew what her responses was gonna be. Why the hell would you allow her to get up there and say something totally different than what she told y'all in 2020. Did they really feel that the defense was not going to have access to this? Matter of fact, when Connick had caught her up in a lie, he showed her the documentation, and the prosecution stands up and says, "Wait a minute, I need to see that. I haven't seen that." He said, "Why not? You gave it to me."
Yeah, we got it from you.
We got it from you. If y'all knew that these were the statements that she gave y'all in 2020, what the freak was the purpose of bringing these charges on this man when y'all know damn well that she said all of y'all didn't have a case?
It was terrible.
Okay, hold on. Somebody asked what?
It's sad that they wasted taxpayer money on this case. You should have let this man get a bond from the beginning.
Who is HS?
Who's HS?
HS.
Heaven.
No. Lex, who is HS? They need to bring in the mom. She does. She smokes.
Oh, they going, man, they going, Angelo is going to jail. Alice is going to jail.
Okay, so now
Geronda going to jail.
This is why I say the mother better lawyer up.
They better lawyer up, y'all.
Remember, Azriel testified yesterday that she had a show in Key West. Rob was performing in Jacksonville, and she had a show in Key West. Oh yeah, Homeland Security. They was like this.
They were right there upstairs with us. I look at the badge.
That's what they was doing. They looked at each other and were shaking their head. One lady kept her head on her head like this. We just knew when we was seeing them doing that, we just knew that they was finna walk Rob up out of there. Like, just go home.
Because even the judge even thanked the Marshall group. Yeah. Because they've been treating Rob really good over there now.
They've been treating him
real good.
Okay, so remember yesterday she testified that her mother, after one of her shows, drove her to Rob's show, even though his show was going to be over by the time they got there. That's when that whole Cheryl Macklin thing and putting them in different rooms and stuff came in. So this is where we at. This is where we at now. So Kaepernick says to her, you talked about your show in Key West. She said yes, but she couldn't recall everything. He said, you said that your mother drove you to this show and it was a couple of hours away. And she said yes. He said, well, did you realize that Jacksonville, from Key West to Jacksonville, that's an 8-hour drive? And then she said, I probably got the location messed up. I must be mixed up with the location. Her mother literally took her from one location at 10 o'clock at night, drove 8 hours to go to wherever Rob was to find him so that he could sleep with her daughter. Because that goes back to when they got to Cheryl.
Wow, I got 600 people in the chat. Whoa.
Yeah.
I never in my life had that many people in my chat. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Dang, I hit a world record today. Wow, thank you guys.
So yeah, she says, so when they got to that hotel, remember she testified yesterday that Cheryl was trying to put them in different rooms, but they said that the mother, they was willing to share a room. She said that we told Cheryl that we would share a room. And the mother supposedly, Cheryl insisted, no, you guys get separate rooms. The mother took Cheryl's room. Cheryl went to a hotel further out, and Azriel supposedly went with Rob. Well, she testified that that was not the case. Her mother refused to take Cheryl's room and wanted a room of her own, leaving her to go sleep in Rob's room.
Yeah.
At this time, she's still 17 years old, because we went back to around April, May-ish of 2015.
When she was being doing her testimony and with the prosecution, they kept emphasizing the age 17. That's all they kept doing, the 17. You hear what I'm saying?
Yesterday they were stressing that age 17. They trying to drill it into the jury's head. It's a technique that they do, a tactic that they do to try to drill that age. She was still a minor at 17. At 17, it is backfiring on them, because you know what? All they prove is that while you charging Rob with trafficking, this woman drove her child in the middle of the night to a 48-year-old man at 17 years old. 17. We're gonna say it just like they were saying it. You trafficked your daughter.
Yeah.
Um,
You got
I don't know
try to
if
get Rob caught up, and he.
So yeah. So and also I'm gonna say this: the pictures that she was sending Rob when she was in her bra and her panties and she was singing, her parents had actually took those videos
pictures.
and pictures of her, and they actually sent them to Rob. She didn't. They staged all of that and sent to him. She wasn't legal in the state that they was in, because if she was, we wouldn't be here today.
Yeah.
So we wouldn't even be on this live. We wouldn't be doing none of this if she was legal in the state that they trying to say that she was in having sex with Rob.
Because the policeman came up there and saw her ID and said she was 18.
It was staged.
Everything.
It was all staged. They wanted Rob to believe that she was actually 18 because the police officers looked at her ID and said, okay, she's 18. They staged that. That's why he never thought to ask any more questions about her age.
All you R. Kelly haters who try to put that man in casket.
Yeah,
you guys
don't have
are
a heaven or a
wrong.
hell to put nobody in. And look at that.
Wrong.
He don't even belong where he at, and it's been 2.5 years.
Yeah.
This is sad. It's
sad.
Really sad. The only thing that we can really say that Rob did was slapped her.
That's a bad relationship. Cheated on a couple of the girls.
He slapped her because he's been in this situation. The America still makes fun of him. They clown him of that shit from 2008. And here you is, he asked you several times, how old are you? And you lied for how many months? And then putting him back into the same predicament. I still stand on what I said yesterday. You lucky that's all he did was slap your ass.
And then gonna put that little pedophilia and all that, sleeping with boys and all that. You lies, guys are terrible.
Lies. That searching, Googling that child porn and stuff, lies.
All of it was.
Luckily, the judge didn't allow it. But if she would allow it, they would have found a way to show that that was a lie too. She was setting him up. They asked her from July to August of 2015, how many times did your parents come see you? She said once. By the end of August 2015 to December of 2015, when you finally turned 18, how many times did your parents come see you? She did not recall. It was probably none. She said that she would text and make phone calls and etc. But that was pretty much it. Contact. She said her contact wasn't regular. Reminded her she was on. Okay, this is where it got good, and I like to thank Shabazz for this.
Yes,
thank you, Shabazz.
Thanks, Shabazz. And Shabazz is supposed to be really supposed to be one of the.
I don't know. Oh. So I don't want to put that out there.
Yeah, we don't know.
I don't know if they're niche Shabazz. Well, I don't know, but we know they use precedents. So by this time, I want to say it's probably about. I fell asleep at one point too.
We fell asleep because we tired.
I was tired in the courtroom.
That's why I gotta hurry
up, so I go to bed. But
because we gotta be out there at 3 in the morning.
So she says on YouTube, it was not her decision. Contact wasn't regular. She said, okay, the contact wasn't regular, but remind you, she was on precedence where she was saying, yes, that was my decision. I didn't want it to be. She said no. She don't recall ever saying that to anyone, and it wasn't her decision. So they went over precedence and told her So what Koenig did is everything that she said. Do y'all remember in the video she was sitting next to Angelo and she was telling the story and she was your wife, and the only reason I didn't is because I wasn't checking in when I was 17. So why would I check in now that I'm grown? That's not finna happen. That's not the period. All that shit. That's all what this is about. He read that whole entire thing off to her. And then
he read it to the what's name people.
To the jury.
You saw the video.
Okay, so what happened was that video. I'm guessing the defense got that some late or something, so it wasn't able to be submitted into evidence in time for the trial. But they wanted to bring it in anyway. So what happened was the judge says that you have to The judge is definitely, she was all aboard online, because this is actually when the judge says, well, the jury needs to hear this video because she has too many inconsistencies in her story. And this is part of showing how inconsistent that she is. So, but the government, I mean, they was fighting. She was going and getting her law books and slamming shit on the desk and all kind of shit to try to prove that they can't show that video.
Yeah, okay. She didn't want
so
the video.
The judge said, well, what you're gonna do, Kenny, you can ask her questions. Once she denies anything that you said, that's when we bring the video into evidence, and then we're gonna show it to the jury. Exactly what she said on precedence. So for everybody that thought Judge Donnelly was trying to set Rob up for two, shout out to Judge Donnelly.
Shout out to Judge Donnelly.
They was trying to get that tossed out. Not happening. Refused the room, sure offered the room. So this is also when they call her up, because they basically tried to say that Cheryl was a runner and that she was arranging for her ass to sleep with Rob, when that was not the case. Cheryl was trying to put the mother and daughter in the room together. The mother refused to share the room with Azriel.
Hey, yeah, this is gonna be one loss in the government's.
So
they say the government win 99.9%. But they're going to lose this one.
So remember, Azriel said that she didn't recall the trip being 8 hours, and that she must got it wrong, that she didn't know that she was in Key West or he was in Jacksonville. Maybe she got the locations mixed up, because she said, well, my mom didn't drive me that long and she didn't drive me that far. Well, she was actually taking notes of everything that was going on. And he presented that to her and told her, remember, you made these notes about your trip to Jacksonville? We wasn't able to see that, so I can't really tell y'all what the notes say. But at the end of the day, she acknowledged that she did say it. She did write the notes, and it was proof that she lied once again.
Bye. I mean, that girl told about 1,000 lies.
But here, now this is where this is what's funny. We go back to the documentary precedents. They was talking about precedents. Kennick was trying to say why it needs to be presented. The government stands up and say, well, I didn't even see it. I didn't see the video. Kennick says, no, I'm pretty sure y'all did see that video. They said, no, we didn't. The judge said, no, I'm pretty sure y'all seen it too.
Yeah, because the government could see everything.
It's on YouTube. You can pretty much see everything. So the judge was like, no, you did see it. And then the government proceeded to say, well, not that particular part. We don't recall that particular part. So now y'all know where they got their line witness from.
Yeah.
And now y'all know who was the one that was helping her on the stand and get her statements and stuff together. Because now they lying. They was basically in court yesterday. So yeah, he said, and then he proceeded to say, well, I got most of this stuff from y'all.
Yeah.
So he said, I don't know how y'all didn't see none of this, didn't know about precedents or anything, because I got most of this stuff from y'all. So I'm guessing that's why Rob's attorneys was never really reaching out to people to be witnesses and stuff, because the government was sitting there making their case for them. They was looking at like, do these motherfuckers know what they just handed us? Mm-hmm. So again, this went on for almost 2 hours, where they was talking about how to get this, because the government was doing everything in their power to get the judge to not let them into evidence. They do not want the jury seeing this whatsoever. Again, shout out to Shabazz.
Shout out to my people in the chat. Please get the likes up. I need to see 600 likes. I got I had 621 people at one point. Y'all get those likes up.
And then once again, this is where the judge says the jury needs to see that video, because Azriel is too inconsistent in her statements. I should have Googled this before, because I really don't know what this means, y'all. Right. But the judge said once precedence is allowed into the courtroom and they see this, this will be evidence as for impeachment.
So Azriel's going to be impeached.
Yeah. I was like, damn, the president got to do this shit.
And Azriel's going to be impeached.
Yeah, that's what she said. She said that video is grounds. So if somebody can look it up really quick, if y'all. That video will be allowed into evidence as impeachment.
What does impeachment mean?
Somebody tell us what they mean. My name on Facebook is Dottie Coley. Hold on, let me type it in here.
Then shout out to Shabazz.
I just tagged myself. Anybody else got some questions? What impeachment? Yes, impeachment. Somebody look it up.
Yeah, look up impeaching somebody.
She said if they allow precedents into evidence, no, if they watch precedents, it would be evidence of impeachment.
Y'all send the money in so we can get the transcript so you guys can read it for yourself, the lying husband, so you can get all of it.
I talked to some people.
Right, we want them to get the transcript first.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I want the transcript.
Me and her gonna do a show for y'all. She's gonna be my co-host.
Kendra, they don't have to stress that she lied about being 18. They know it. They know it.
They know she
Every
lied.
single thing she has ever said, Rob did, done, didn't do, whatever, was a lie. So they don't need to stress that because they've already proved the mother, pretty much whatever Rob's being charged with, the mama should be sitting right next to him being charged with the same damn shit.
Yep. So Rob's coming home, y'all. See what God is doing?
Okay, Serena said impeachment is to remove her testimony. So they're gonna remove her testimony when she said
that she didn't do it.
That she didn't say her parents basically when she said that Rob was telling her, they talked about all that. Rob was the one telling you to call your parents.
She says a witness's credibility may be attacked or supported by testimony about a witness' reputation, having character, truthfulness. Oh shit! Where did it go? Where did it go? She deleted the message.
Oh, then there we go. It says a witness credibility may be attacked or supported by testimony about the witness's reputation for having a character for truthfulness or untruthfulness, or by testimony in the form of an opinion about the character. But evidence of truthful character is admissible only after the witness character for truthfulness has been attacked.
Because her testimony can be impeached if sworn testimony or contradicted.
That's what the judge was also saying. So yeah, you're right, can be contradicted because the judge said that she testified to something. So the government was trying to say, well, the video isn't evidence, so you can't show the jury. But the judge was saying because she's being cross-examined and she's already testified to one thing and they have evidence of another, it can't actually be allowed in. They can just submit it as evidence at the end of the trial. It doesn't have to be now.
So basically, the defense can request a dismissal. They can. I think
we said that. I said we were saying that this whole entire time. When I tell y'all, everybody in the courtroom was like on their feet, going crazy. I see why she didn't want us in the courtroom because it was crazy, y'all. So just lastly, let me see.
She's almost finished, y'all.
They asked her. Do she remember she testified earlier that she was on the Gayle King and her parents told her to lie and ask about people being there. She said she didn't recall all of that. They asked her, do you recall Steve Greenberg being in the room when you were testifying? She said she didn't recall. They said, well, do you recall somebody else? She said she didn't. Then she said, well, I remember his spokesman being there. What was his name? Oh, I don't know his name, but he had dreads. So we know who she was referring to. Daryl Johnson, as in like the baby powder. The government brought in that why she said he wasn't a good guy. She said, isn't it true that Rob actually every single time y'all walked into a door, he opened every single door for you?
Yeah.
She said yes. He said, wait a minute, not even just that, but isn't it true that Rob, if all of the girls was together, none of y'all got into the car until each one of y'all doors was open? She said yes. Then she said, he asked her, isn't it true that if a woman walked into a room where Rob was at, this man would literally stand up just because a woman walked into the room?
And she's like, what?
That shit was about to make me cry. Because how many men y'all know doing shit like that? He literally stood up every time every time one of his girlfriends walked into the room. And she said, well, I don't know what you mean by that.
Mm-hmm.
And he left that alone because by this time we all know she just lying. So ain't no point of going any further. And then so they asked her about that. She said it was a 4 to 5 hour job and that her mother drove her to, knowing that Rob's show was going to be over by the time they got there. They submitted her statements into evidence that she acknowledged that she did say that. And let's go back to, she was saying she was sending pictures of crop tops and tights and singing for R. Kelly. Her parents actually staged that. They staged the incident with the police, and she admitted that she told the government her parents were setting Rob up from the beginning. They did a sidebar. All the investigators in the room, that's when they started shaking their heads, listening to the investigation. They went up to the government asked to go up to the judge and do a sidebar. When they came back from the sidebar, y'all, they introduced evidence of letters that she had wrote to Rob. Now, mind you, she said she left him in October 2019. She wrote him a letter that stated, not daddy, but hey, bear. She wrote him talking about how this was, I'm guessing, her Dear John letter.
Like the last,
so
I'm leaving
her
you.
Dear John letter.
Yeah, Dear John.
So she basically was saying that she loves him, but because he was not willing he wasn't pretty much willing to make her number one and acknowledge her as number one. And yes, this is after she had that visit and Joy was still allowed to visit and she was taken off the visitors list. If she was not going to be number one, then she would have to support him in private, but she wouldn't no longer do it in public. She also told him this is just politics. She basically was saying, we got you. We set you up. Look where you at. You didn't want to make me number one. You didn't want to make me wifey. So that's what happens. Now look where you at.
That's it.
And she said if he didn't, she wanted to make a statement about who she was or she was gone. And this is all politics. She wrote that months after they separated. She wrote this month. She said that she told him that it wasn't true. Zevry turned around and showed her the evidence, and then she said, oh, well, she still didn't recall writing that. And they asked, when did you send this letter? She said, well, I know I sent it. It was way before we broke up like that. And then they was like, no. Did you send it before Surviving R. Kelly? And then she said, well, yeah, it was way before Surviving R. Kelly.
Yeah, like she talking about which one?
They said, well, which year? Which year did you send it? She said, well, I don't know. He said, but you do recall sending it before Surviving R. Kelly. And she said, yeah. Well, how come you don't know the year? Well, there was more than one. So which year are you talking about? Then he went and got the envelope and showed her that it was dated for December the 2nd, 2019. That's when you sent the motherfucking letter, girl.
She said she didn't know what state it was in.
She said, well, that address doesn't look familiar to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man, so they got lied so bad.
She had one last letter, y'all, where she was professing her love and how good he was to her. And she recited this whole Bambi poem. And it was really, really nice. Very nice.
We wanted to cry at the end. It was like so sad.
It would have touched my... Actually, y'all, I looked over at Sylvia and I said, I know that shit is breaking Rob's heart because he probably sat in jail and read that letter and was thinking she really loves him and stuff. Yeah. The way this poem was, y'all have to hear it. The transcripts, y'all see it if you get the transcript.
Yeah, I seen the transcript.
But that shit broke my heart, and that she was really doing what she was doing and was still sit up here and play with this man when he already locked up. So then that's when Deborah Kennick, me and Sleepy, had recited everything that she had said on precedence. About her father, all of those statements and stuff she made. Guess what she said, y'all? She didn't recall making none of those statements.
Wow.
She didn't recall none of that. They asked her when was President's taped. She said she didn't recall, but it had to be sometime between October 2019 and January 2019.
2020. January 2020.
I'm gonna tell you, I wrote down how she was looking. So as he was reading that, this is what she was doing.
She put her head down
the whole time.
and she started shaking her leg.
And she was doing this. Let me do this. Oh shit!
What'd you do? End it?
I think I did.
Oh my gosh! She just ended her life.
Sorry. Well, y'all still here. She put her head in her hands, and she was shaking. Like she just at that point she just couldn't sit still. I'll go back and tell them. And then
this girl got me up, y'all.
She basically they tried to say, do you know who was the person that did the president's documentary? And she basically told them that was a friend of Rob's. The reason she said it was a friend of Rob's because she was trying to put out there. The only reason I said that stuff is because Rob's friend made me do it, but that didn't work for her. That didn't work because they had evidence that wasn't Rob's friend, and in fact, her and her father had set up to do that interview. Mm-hmm. So everybody on this live, the only thing that y'all missed is what I said, Azriel, how she was looking when they was talking about. All y'all missed was when I said Azriel was looking when they was reading about the president. She put her hands like this and she was just shaking her hand and she was doing like that and she started fidgeting. I thought she was finna cry. She looked like she wanted to cry. And then they started to touch on all the letters. Supposedly she wrote Angelo a few letters.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Rob got the song from Peter. You know the song that
sorry about that.
You know the song R. Kelly Don't Fall and the other one. He got it, y'all. He got it. Can it let him hear it?
I'm sorry, y'all, but we pretty much done anyway. I was just telling y'all how Azriel was ending at the end of it, was shaking her head and putting her head in her hands. They started to talk about she must have wrote some letters to Angelo. And I'm pretty sure in these letters, it's going to be some more incriminating stuff about them.
Yeah, we didn't hear the letters to Angelo.
They did not get into it because the judge says there was another issue. And she wanted to wrap up. There was an issue that they had to work out. And then we was going to pick up where we left off tomorrow morning. Again, Azriel will be getting cross-examined by Kenneth tomorrow. And that's when the judge said, you know what? We just gonna let all the other witnesses appear by video. Cause you know it's COVID and stuff, and it's no point in having them coming here from some of these places. Some of these places is hot spots. There's no point of them coming here to testify at this point. So
in other words, we don't want to waste our money on these people.
So we might as well just do video. Well, and let me say this. It's video for people whose testimony wasn't going to be that long anyway, and they wasn't key witnesses. So all key witnesses will still be there, but anybody that they was bringing in to support or just say, oh yeah, I worked for him and I kept his bank records and da 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 da, they won't be in court. They're gonna all be over video. Does Azriel go home at night, or is she somewhere secure so she won't be getting coached?
And remember those 50 wait a minute. Remember they were saying all these 50 witnesses? The prosecutor said it's only a few witnesses left, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Not many. And you only had 3 witnesses, 3 real witnesses, which was Demetrius, Geronda, and
so Jane with Doe. Precedents, I don't even know if you can get a hold to that no more because
if y'all go look at my old videos, I got it here on my channel. I'm gonna open it back up so you guys go look it up. I'm gonna
we should have had something else so we could have been playing Precedents.
Oh man, see,
if y'all haven't seen Precedents, check out Precedents.
I'm gonna when I get back home, I'll play it for you guys.
If you need it, you can't find the link. Y'all can probably
somebody show me how to do a premiere. I'll premiere it so you guys can watch it.
Yeah,
I don't know how to do it.
Sylvia gonna premiere it. But if you can't get to Sylvia, you can always go Google Precedence,
I don't have it out
PRECEDENCE.
because they had a fight.
But I was gonna also say you can.
They had a fight. It was on legal. They were on legal fighting with each other. Shabazz and what's the name? Because I paid for it.
With
I
them
went
doing,
back. Yeah, I went back and started.
but you know what? When he first released that, it was some issues with people trying to see it because they was trying to see it for free. So he had to change how they did it so that he can make sure he got paid for all the views. But you can still go to Shabazz and hit him up and ask him how can you view it or how can you pay to watch it.
He said he took it down. I talked to him.
Well, maybe he gonna put it back up. We'll call Shabazz and ask
Shabazz
tomorrow. What else? Do anybody have any questions? Because that was all.
I'm going
today.
to bed.
Any info on Joy? No. They didn't say nothing about Joy. Oh, they show her picture.
Yeah.
But that was it. That was yesterday.
Randa, I don't know how to do it. You gotta show me. I'll do it.
Oh, okay. So it's on his IG page. I am on his IG page, but I thought he took it off of there.
Because he was having some legal problem.
His Instagram page is as is Entertainment Network. All one word. Great job. Okay, thank you.
Oh yeah. Put your cash app. Yes, bless Dottie, please. Here, put your cash app in here. Put your cash app in. Ma'am, put your cash app right here. Type in your cash app. Okay. Y'all, bless Dottie. She's been a wonderful host. You gotta put your dollar sign. What are you doing? You gotta put your dollar sign. No, if my mind's gonna put it in for you.
Okay. I'm sorry. So dollar sign, capital M.
Real Digger Me, please help her out.
Lowercase Z, capital D, 312. Chi-Town.
No, don't say Chi-Town because they don't think you saying Chi-Town in there.
Not Chi-Town, Chicago, West Side.
No, don't even say it. Just put her cash app is dollar sign. Capital M, little Z,
capital D, 312.
Thank you, Jessica. This is her cash app, y'all.
Yeah.
Do a blessing for her. Bless her.
I'm not gonna take this video down, y'all. So if y'all need to see it again, you'll be able to watch it. I took the other one down just because.
Yeah, I gotta go to sleep because we gotta get up early in the morning.
So I'm gonna leave this video up. Wait, you gotta let them know tomorrow. Azriel is back on the stand. First thing in the morning, we will be out there. We will be at court, and I will be back here same time, 8 o'clock tomorrow. So let y'all know how that is.
We'll be here until Thursday.
2 more days.
Thursday, and then we'll give you that update.
They did not mention the fight with but they not finished, Ruthie. They not finished with her yet.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go. Okay, she still want to talk to y'all. I want to lay down. Y'all get off my live. Sorry for being rude.
Y'all, good night. Good night. Thank y'all.
I love you.
Appreciate y'all. See y'all tomorrow.
She said, can y'all do it a little earlier?
So the thing, Miranda. So the problem is we don't get out of court until about 5:30, and then we hadn't eaten all day, so we try to grab something to eat. By the time we make it to the room, it's almost 7. So the earliest we could do it tomorrow is 7 o'clock. So is 7 o'clock okay?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
We tired.
Cause y'all, I'm sitting here trying to give y'all 8 hours of testimony.
Thank you for her cash out. Oh, y'all blessing her. Yay.
Thank you, guys.
Keep doing it. Come on, be a blessing to her.
Free R. Kelly.
Free R. Kelly.
Y'all have a good night. Good night, everyone.
Free R. Kelly. And what is it? What is it? The parent? What is that chant about the parents?
I'll go back and tell you. And what were the parents? Sorry, hold on.
Where were the parents?